been cutting down a whole bunch of trees in my yard, and so I have plenty of wood to pick from. And I just grabbed a couple of pieces that I think will make for some good test pieces. I'll be able to split these down pretty nice and get them to a suitable size. I know for sure that this piece here is poplar, and I'm not completely sure about this. I've been cutting down so many different types of trees. This might be cherry. I think it's probably cherry, but I'm not 100% positive. What I do know is that I have some strips of maple that I had some flooring. I might try a little piece of this just to see how it does, how these knives perform. And then also might take a piece of pine and rip it down and see how the knives perform on a softer wood as well.
Heavy metal is rolling again. Your life may well come back dead. Suicides and fireflies.
So I'll just baton down some of this to give me my test pieces. And for the record, I'm not using the knives that I'm going to be performing my feather stick experiment with. I'll be using another knife to do all the splitting here. It's kind of nice to bring the SE6 into the mix. So I'm set up and ready to go. I have my 3 different woods. I have pine, poplar, and maple. 3 different setups to try with each one of the knives. There are my 5 blades. I have a piece of each one of the woods to try with each one of the knives. So let's see what we get for results. So I'm definitely not very good at feather sticks, but I've dabbled a little bit, and I'll do the best I can. I've learned some techniques from other guys who have been pretty successful and do a nice job. I'm going to start with the tops bob. Just try to get some real nice fine curls going on an edge. find that nice edge, get it started, and just let the knife do the rest of the work. So that's good for now. That's actually pretty nice. This is pine, it's real soft. But that's the bob on the pine. Let's try the poplar, see how we do. Same idea here. Try to establish an edge. Might try to strip a little bit of this bark here to get a nice flat spot. So we'll just plane this down, kind of get things started here. This is the real test because that last piece of pine was milled, and this is more split down like you'd actually get in the woods. Yuck, not great. But at least it is kind of feathered out. So that was the bob with the poplar. And now finally, the bob with my piece of maple. I'm not sure how this will go, but let's give it a try. This wood already has a nice hard edge on it, so see if I can take advantage of that. It is very hard. Now I'm trying to allow the blade just to slice nice and lightly across it. It's not going to happen with this hard of a wood, so it does take a little more pressure. I'm trying not to bite too deep, but so far it's definitely tough. I think at this point, I don't know, it's definitely not doing anything to the knife. But I don't know. It's certainly not easy. Let me give it one more try and see if I can get any feathers to form. And I got some tight little curls. I could make a bunch of, kindling that way. It would probably be just fine, but it's nice to have it feathered out on a stick. I'm trying different parts of the knife too, but it's definitely not easy, and I would not call that successful by any means. So to wrap it up, pine, poplar, maple. Let's try the next blade. Okay, so now we'll try this test with the LT Wright JX2. We'll start with the pine and we'll see how we do. Nice light, easy pressure. Let me get something established here. This definitely wants to bite pretty deep. Find a good place to stop it. Yeah, that's good. I mean, this thing just wants to shred this wood apart. It's biting so deep. Let me lighten up on my pressure just a little bit, see if I can get it to curl a little bit better. Definitely a really nice slicer. Let me practice getting this going where I want it. Even less pressure, I'm starting to find how to get those really nice fine little curls. It's still not quite as fine as I was able to get with the bob, but they're definitely thin. I mean, these are paper thin little slices. It's taking absolutely zero effort. Get a lot of different geometries on the blade because of that belly. So I mean, you can experiment with it quite a bit, but I mean, that's not really great, but that would certainly feather it out enough to catch fire. I would think in just a couple of sparks. It's not bad. So next, let's try the poplar. See if I have any more luck with the JX2 on this particular wood. Try to plane out a little section just for a minute here. I mean, even though I'm not getting the feathers to stay on the stick, these shavings are very, very paper thin. And even though this wood is a little bit wet, I would hope it would actually catch if you were to spark it with a ferro rod, but I'm not exactly going to be starting a fire today, so I guess I'll have to wait and try it out on another occasion. I don't know, I can keep going at this for hours, but I'm not able to get real fine feathers that actually stay on the stick. I mean, I have some, but most of them I've essentially cut off. And I know there's a technique that I'm probably not doing right, but that's why we're here practicing, and you know, I'm learning, and I will continue to try, and that's all you can do. But anyway, that is the JX2 and the poplar. Now let's give it a try on the maple. It's like the Charlie Brown feather stick. The Charlie Brown tree of a feather stick. Although even though the feathers don't stay on the piece of wood, the JX2 was considerably better at least making shavings of the hardwood. And you know, this is a piece of flooring. It's bone dry and extremely hard, so I wasn't expecting a very good result, but to at least be able to get some nice fine shavings off the piece of hardwood, I would make some excellent kindling and fire starter to get things going anyway. So feather stick was not necessarily a success, but the shavings are pretty nice. And that's it for the JX2.